Hello and welcome to Midday Update. Coming up are the local stories for the day. GCC Secretary General meets heads of Federation and Gulf Chambers in Oman. The Secretary General of the Gulf Cooperation Council has met heads of the Federation and the Gulf Chambers in Muscat Governorate to discuss the issue of investment, import and export procedures among the GCC countries. Oman News Agency said in a statement the following. His Excellency Dr. Naif Falah Al-Hashraf, Secretary General of the GCC, discusses during his meeting with the heads of the Federation and the Gulf Chambers in Muscat the issue of investment, import and export procedures among the GCC countries and the promotion of food security. Environment Authority receives eagle from citizen in Al Dakhliya Governorate. The Environment Authority has received an eagle from a citizen in Al Dakhliya Governorate. It will be transferred to South Al Batana Governorate to provide the necessary care. The Environment Department in Al Dakhliya Governorate has received an eagle from a citizen in preparation for its transfer to the Rehabilitation and Breeding Wildlife Centre in the Vilayat of Barka to provide the necessary care, Environment Authority said in a statement. Over 20,000 illegal cigarettes seized from expats in Oman. More than 20,000 restricted and banned cigarettes have been seized from a site for expats in the Vilayat of Saham, North Al Batana Governorate, Oman Customs said. The North Al Batana Customs Department raided a site for expatriate workers in the Vilayat of Saham and seized 20,400 restricted and banned cigarettes after tracking the vehicle since it entered the Hatta port, Oman Customs said in a statement. And now for the international news. UK and Switzerland scuttle TRIPS consensus at WTO. Cracks between developed and developing nations emerged as rich developed countries have once again created obstacles in getting consensus-based approval on the TRIPS waiver. It is learned from top official sources that the UK and the host of WTO Switzerland are opposed to the idea of transferring IPR or patents to developing countries for combating pandemics. India at WTO yesterday lambasted developed countries and big pharma companies for prevailing over the common good of humanity and the world. TRIPS waiver proposal was brought by India and South Africa. Later, it got the backing of more than 150 nations. Only a handful of rich nations are scuttling the process. It is unlikely to reach any consensus until rich countries come on board. On Monday, Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal said the following. If you're not even able to look at the near-term future and the requirements of that period, then I think it's pretty much clear that rather than concern for humanity, for the hundreds of thousands of lives lost or the millions affected, it is sad that the super profits of a few pharmaceutical companies prevail over global good. He was referring to insensitivity shown by some rich developed countries and pharma companies during pandemics by not helping developing and least developed countries at the time of need. India is also urging WTO members to open negotiations on therapeutics and diagnostics. And now for the sports news. England beat New Zealand by 5 wickets. Bairstow shines with bat. Bairstow and captain Ben Stokes shine for England with the bat, helping their side win the second test against New Zealand by 5 wickets and clinch the 3-match series. It was a seesaw contest between the Kiwis and England. While mammoth 500-plus scores during the first innings of both sides suggested that the match could head to a draw, New Zealand ended up setting a challenging target of 299, which England chased down with 5 wickets and more than 20 overs to spare. With this, England has started off the Stokes-McCullum era with a series win. Chasing 299, England was not off to a good start as they lost opener Zach Crawley. A 41-run stand between Ollie Pope and Alex Lees followed, but the former gave away his wicket to pacer Matt Henry for 18 after he was caught by wicketkeeper Tom Lundell. Root, the hero of previous innings, fell for just 3. Lees and Bairstow tried to build a stand before the former fell for 44, sinking England to 93 for 4 after he was dismissed by Southee. From then on, Bairstow and captain Ben Stokes took the control of the game. They smashed Kiwi bowlers left and right. Bairstow was on another level altogether, completing his century in 77 balls and achieving the fastest 100 in the 4th innings of the game. England won the toss and elected to field first. In the first innings of the match, New Zealand ended at 553 for 10. Daryl Mitchell and Tom Blundell were the top scorers for New Zealand in the innings. James Anderson was the top bowler for England with 3 for 62 in 27 overs. In the second innings, England was bowled out for 539. Joe Root and Ollie Pope and Ben Foakes were the stars for their side. Trent Boult and Michael Bracewell were the best bowlers for the Kiwis. In the third innings, New Zealand was bundled out for 284 in the 4th innings. Will Young, Devon Conway and Daryl Mitchell contributed well for the Kiwis with the bat. This set England a target of 299 runs to capture the series.
You've just heard the live feed from the TTV studios on TFM 95.4. Let's talk.